Hello, all my crafty people out there. It is time for a new project. If you haven't been here before, my name is Stephanie, and I upcycle clothing, usually thrifted items, and sometimes we upcycle to different clothing and sometimes to accessories. So if you like that kind of content, like, subscribe, follow along, see what you think. And what we're going to do today is we're going to work with this skirt. It's just a plain denim skirt, nothing fancy about it. I think it's a Tommy Hilfiger. I thrifted it for about $3.99, and I got some ideas. It's like I said, it's nothing fancy, but we're gonna try to make it fancy. So let's have some fun. Y'all follow along, see what we do. Okay, everybody, this is our skirt. Again, it's a Tommy Hilfiger, so it's nothing fancy. And it's got this ridge at the bottom that I have debated over and over again as to whether or not I'm going to leave on there. I think I am. I do like the feature. It's a little different. If later I wanted to make it a raw edge, it would be simple to cut off. But at this point, I think I'm going to leave it. But here's our plan. Okay, I saw this a long time ago, a woman walking through a craft show. I stopped her to talk to her about it. She had this really cute white skirt on. It was about this length. And she had painted it with little cat paws up the front of the skirt. And then on the back, she had painted little cat tails. It was so stinking simple and cute. So I would like to do that with this, but Stephanie don't paint. Not well. It just does not, don't turn out. So since I don't paint, what do? I work with fabric. So I figure we need a black cat, and this is actually velvet. So I'm kind of taking a chance to see if it will work with the Ultra Bond that we're going to use to create kind of an applique. Well, it is an applique on the skirt. So it's a very low grade, like low pile. That's what I'm thinking, low pile velvet. But I thought we'd do a black velvet cat. This is kind of a color you would see maybe in a calico. And I'm debating on whether or not to make a paw that looks kind of calico with maybe some white. I have this white, this is seersucker. But I thought it would make a neat texture. So that's the white paw. Possibly part of this paw is a calico. I don't know. We'll see. Calicos have 3 colors, though. I had to figure that out. And then I found this gray. Now, the gray doesn't stand out a lot against this, but I have a gray cat, and she needs to be represented. So she might end up with little white paws, too. I'm not sure. Here's the other thing. Okay, we're going to make paws on the front, tails on the back, and we're going to applique these on with Ultra Bond. And I was originally thinking that I would put little buttons on the paws, these little buttons, and use them as the little, the little jelly beans, the little paw tips. They're pads. But then I saw these and thought, that makes life a lot easier. And they're just about the right size for me to put fabric around to make them big enough to do the applique. Sorry. Oh, I had trouble with my voice today. But I think these will work as well. We're just going to have to kind of gauge the size. I'm hoping they'll be big enough. So, that being said, that's our experimental portion of the fun. What I'm going to do with this, though, is I'm going to iron on the Ultra Bond on the back of this before I cut it out in the shapes I want, because we all know I stink at that. So I'm thinking about it this time before I cut it out, Ultra Bond. So let me go put this to the iron, and I'm going to cut out some blocks of these 4 fabrics and see if we can kind of piece together some paws and maybe some tails too. Well, yeah, tails too. Okay, I have rough cut some pieces of the Ultra Bond out to put on each of the little pieces I'm going to use for the paws and the tails. Now, I don't know if you've ever used Ultra Bond, but this is the sticky side. It's not sticky per se, but you can tell it's definitely the adhesive side. And you're going to adhere it to this piece. And this is the piece. Now this is velvet, so we're going to see how this works. That's why I'm testing this one out first. If not, we're going to have to go with a different black. So you put the adhesive side down and the paper side up. And you're going to do a quick press. Now, you don't want any steam, and you want it to be about in the middle for heat. So you don't want it to be high heat. I usually make the mistake of putting on high heat, but you know, read the directions, Stephanie. So we're just going to press this on. And it says just to be 2 seconds in each spot. That seems to be a terribly fast amount of time. And 8 seconds when you're trying to apply it to the fabric that it's going to. So let's see if that... Essentially it shouldn't peel up anymore. You should be able to feel that it's adhered to all of the pieces, all of the piece. And that is what we're going to do. That didn't turn out bad. The velvet seems to be okay. And that's what we're going to do. And probably when I iron the velvet onto the skirt, I might put a cloth over the top of it to protect the velvet. I don't want to burn it, but we'll see. May not need that. Anyway, I'm going to continue to iron on all of my pieces. I ripped this so it's fraying. If you have good, this isn't necessarily great cotton, but if you have even weave fabric, you should be able to rip it into pieces by just clipping the selvage where it starts. This one isn't as long as this one, but I don't need it to be. I made the piece of fabric a little too long. It's just a strip. These are about, 2.5 inch strips. So I'll be back once I've got all these ironed on and we're deciding what length our paws are going to be and how we're going to put them on the skirt. Alright, all the adhesive is ironed onto the back of these pieces of fabric. And I think this is the arrangement I'm going to go with for the paws on the front. Of course, this one will be cut down. This is just a wide piece of fabric, but it'll be a black paw over here. It'll be a little shorter, and I think I want it to go over this ridge. So we're going to start here, do a little bit longer one here, a short one here, and an in between here. Maybe not, maybe a little more. Maybe like that. Anyway, these are our paws. Our paws might not be that long. I might have to do them a little bit like this. Maybe like that. So now I'm going to draw paws on the back of the paper where we want the little paws to be. And we're going to cut them out. And first I'm going to get these out, and I just want to gauge whether or not these will be... I'm going to try and kind of gauge how big I need them, the paws, to go around the little stickers. So I think that they're going to be the right size, but I'm going to do a kind of a healthy paw around that because we got to put a zigzag or some kind of stitch around to secure the applique onto the skirt. So let's get to going. Let me start drawing. Again, not my strong suit, but I'm going to draw a paw here, and then we can cut it longer, or shorter. I'll make it really long, and then we can cut it shorter as we gauge where we want to put them. So let me go draw the paws on and cut those out. Okay, I think I've got them all cut out. This is going to be like the calico. It's going to have a little spot here, a little spot there. And that's going to go, and this one's going to go over here. It's going to be plain black, but the silver paws I think will look really good on it. This one's going to be plain white. I know that's kind of boring, but I like it. And then this one's going to be gray with a little white paw. And they're going to be kind of spaced like this. I'm going to pull them to the front because I want them to kind of show. I don't want them to get caught on the sides of my skirt. Like that. And then on the back, I have 4 tails. So I have a tail to go with this one. I have a tail to go with that one. And that one. And that one. It just so happens that they are going the right way, which is cool. Yeah, I didn't really plan that. But those will go on the back. So I'm going to iron these on. And once I've ironed everything on, then we'll go to the machine and start sewing. I think that would be the best route. I'm wondering if I should sew on like the front and then iron on and sew on the back, just so I don't have too much. These adhere great, but you always got to worry that they're gonna peel before you get a chance to applique on them. So I think I'm going to do the front first, and then I'll come back and do the back. So let me iron these on, and we'll sew them on, and then after we sew them on, we'll put the little shiny toes. Can you see those? It's kind of hard to see them, but they're shiny. So let's iron these on first, sew them, iron on, sew them, then iron on the toes. And cross our fingers that all this ironing on works. All right, let me get to it. Just to show you before I go and iron these on, I am marking them by putting just little marks on each side so I know where I want these to go when I take them over to the ironing board. I'm going to have to use an ironing board to get in the skirt. So I'm arranging them and then I'm marking around them. Just a trick or necessity probably. So let me go work on ironing. Okay, got everybody ironed on, all the paws, I should say, not everybody, but all the paws ironed on. So now we're going to zigzag around each of the paws to give them stability, because although the iron-on is great, it's really just to secure it. I mean, I feel more secure obviously by stitching around it. So I'm going to go do that to all the paws, then we'll go back, iron on the tails, do the same thing for them, and then we'll put our little rhinestone paw prints on. Let's see what it turns out like. Well, all of our paws are tacked down with a zigzag stitch. So now I'm going to go do the exact same thing to the tails. I'm going to iron them on, zigzag around them, and then you and I will meet back at the table when we're ironing on the little rhinestone paws. And we're going to try it on. All right, everybody. Just take this out real quick. I got my paws on the front, and we're going to iron on the little rhinestone paw prints. And the tails on the back. Add a little character with these two. I still wanted this one to be white and black. So now I'm going to put this heavy cardboard I've got inside the skirt, and I'll push it over here to this side first, because we're going to have kind of a hard surface to press down on for the ironing. And the directions say, and I quote, use medium setting, turn off steam, remove back sheet, and position iron on right side up on the project. Leave the clear sheet on top. Okay, so let's cut us one of these out and see if we can do this. I'll come with my bad scissors because, you know, let's see. Let's cut 2 out, obviously, and do this. Let's see if we can get one of these on the black one. And this is the backing. Don't want to touch it, it's sticky. Let's see if that's where we want it. I think that's good. Now, it's going to take 20 to 30 seconds. We'll see if it really takes that long. All right, everybody. I think it turned out kind of cute. Got my little paws on the front. You got my little tails on the back. So it's just a cute, fun thing to do to an old denim skirt. You might have one that's got holes in it. Who knows? I did see this originally on a white skirt, which looked really cute. You could get a little bit more, stand out in the colors with a white skirt, but all I had was a denim one. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, if you had fun, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will catch y'all on the flip side of our next project.